What's up, everybody? How's it going? Glenn and Tanya Coleman here, out on this nice, cool, and crisp night.
Lovely fall evening.
Yeah, so we decided to go outside and, enjoy this nice evening. Thank you guys for joining us. I so enjoy all the hearts and the likes.
Yeah, that's pretty nice to see.
Thanks to everybody who's joining. Let me pull up these comments so we can kind of see what's going on. See who is responding. So I guess I need to introduce us. So for those of you who are watching us for the very first time, my name is Glenn Coleman, and I'm joined as always by my beautiful wife,
Tanya Coleman.
And this is Marriage Matters.
This is Marriage Matters.
And this is just a podcast where we talk about all things relationships, whether that's marriage, family, work relationships, whatever it is. We cover a little bit of everything. So as always, I just like to do our check-in. So how are you doing on this fine evening?
I'm doing awesome. Today has been a good day.
Okay. How so?
Because I've been intentional about enjoying my day.
Okay.
And not doing anything that did not bring me joy.
Wow.
That was my intention for today.
Here's the good thing about that. You was with me all day, so I guess I bring you joy.
You do.
Oh, how selfish of me to include myself in that. But hey. So anyway,
What about you? How are you?
Oh, I'm good. Actually I woke up this morning and admittedly, I was a little tired. We had
drinking hot cocoa, y'all, outside.
A birthday party for our oldest. She turned 16. Lord help us. 16. So that Friday night was a late night for us, and then we had one of our growth challenge meetings in Lafayette. We talk about that a lot. So look, I'm just gonna plug it again. If you want to grow as a human being in every area of your life, we always recommend Growth Challenge. It's been life-changing for us, and it's just it's a 3-part training. You don't have to do all 3 parts. We just chose to do all 3 parts, and it's just I don't want to get into too much. I don't want to give too much away, but it's just that it's Growth Challenge.
It's Growth Challenge,
and it'll challenge you in many different ways. So if that's something that you want to be a part of, you can go to this website, thekitchentablecounseling.com, and find more information about it. But it's been life-changing for us. Like we say, guys, we don't just talk about this. We're not just talking about it. We be about it.
Right.
So as always, in our relationship, we're always looking for opportunities to grow and just get better in all areas of our life. But anyway, so we did Growth Challenge yesterday. Phenomenal, great opportunity, and just spending some time with some really fabulous people. And then, this morning I woke up and I was kind of tired, and I was getting ready to start my day, and I'm getting up out of bed, and Tanya said, "Hey, it's we have an extra hour. It's the hour. The clock is wrong." I'm like, "Oh man, yes." So we actually I don't know if we should say this. I don't know if it's good or bad, but we watched church online in the bed this morning. So we praise them. God's everywhere, even in the bed. Amen.
Yes.
So anyway, let's get into tonight's topic. So tonight's topic is don't take yourself so serious.
Yeah.
Don't take yourself so serious. And I was the reason why I want to talk about this is I was listening to, actually it was a stand-up comedian. I don't want to say the name of the comedian because I don't want to be judged in the comments, but but anyway, they were saying that, about how, we are programmed to, well, anyway, for her, all of her life, she was programmed not to have fun.
Right.
And she talked about, growing up, and I remember this so vividly, and even I do this now, but, they were saying growing up as a kid, they would be over in the corner playing or whatever, being around buckshers, and their parents would be like, "Hey, quit all that playing." And they were like, "But we were kids."
Right.
That's what
kids do.
And I find myself I will admit, doing the same thing, But, I think that contributed to, me at some point in my life. Because I remember growing up, I was, and I still am to some degree, but I kind of hid it, I guess you could say, but I was very funny. growing up, with my cousins and just living in a close-knit community as we did, we were always clowning and having fun. And somewhere along the line, a lot of that went away, as adulthood, and, as you get into life and you get a job and, maybe for me, I was in ministry, a leadership in ministry. And it's like you feel like you have to be, if you don't act a certain way, if you do act a certain way, you won't be taken seriously, so on and so forth. And so for me, that led to just, I think, a lot of the joy in my life being stripped away.
Right.
And that when you're married, that kind of bleeds over into that.
Right. How you show up and how you engage with your spouse. You become very kind of rigid and stagnant in your interaction, and the conversations are all about, the house, the responsibilities, the bills, the kids, and all of those things, the things that we have to do, and not necessarily the things that we enjoy doing. And even when you're spending time together and you're going on vacation, like, are you really there in the moment and letting yourself experience the joy of the moment, and really laughing with one another and just, being present,
because I mean, if one thing that life has taught us in 2020 is that you just never know. And I just made up my mind. It's like, you know what? I'm going to enjoy life to the fullest.
Absolutely.
I am going to not take my family for granted. And again, like I said, if, and especially with our kids, I'm a firm believer. If the only time you talk to your kids is when you correct them, then that's not a great relationship.
Right, you're not building relationships.
And so I want my kids to be comfortable around me. I want them to, be able to want to be around me.
Absolutely.
And you talked about it the other day, when our kids go off to college, we want them to come back home, right?
Exactly.
So that's what we want to talk about tonight, and maybe just encourage you, just to don't take yourself so seriously.
Right.
And I understand that there's a time and a place for everything, but we have to learn how to enjoy each other, how to have fun. So what do you think are some hindrances to that happening?
I think, and I can only speak for myself. Some of it has been the fear of not being perfect, or not perfect, but not getting it right, or going too far, in the fun,
can that happen? Can you go too far in the fun?
Well, I think in the aspect that I'm thinking about it, and I'm talking about the things that I saw growing up, some people took it too far, and it became unhealthy. And so one of the things for me that kind of caused me or trained me to be very rigid and try to always make right decisions and walk this line was because I saw people making unhealthy decisions and creating unhealthy behaviors in their lives. But that's just my story, but I realized that the fear of imperfection for some people, rather that they have a story similar to mine, or they have been reared to be, the smartest one in the room, or they're the intelligent one, or, all of these different things that people tend to deal with. The fear of imperfection and being judged puts you in this box of operating and functioning, and it can create an unhealthy idea of what it is to really have fun. And so I know for me, there have been many moments. Minty. Do you hear Minty? That's someone's name in a movie. But there have been many of moments where I was there and it was enjoyable time, a fun event, but I can't say that I was fully present and really enjoying myself.
Mm-hmm.
Rather that be with you, with friends or anything like that. So sometimes I think that it's the conditioning.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, the kids are playing in the house, and the parents say, stop all that playing. Well, isn't that what kids do to exert energy and show up, and be joyful? They play,
I like the note you wrote here. Fear of imperfection and judgment creates, steals and robs us of joy in adulthood.
Mm-hmm.
And that's really good, because a lot of times it is maybe fear of judgment. Like I said, if I really show up as my true self,
mm-hmm.
if I really act the way that I want to act,
mm-hmm.
or the way that I feel I need to act, or it fear of what people are going to say about that. Here's a great example. And I guess we ought to use some Bible scriptures or something sometimes on here, but but there's nice. The account whenever the children of Israel brought the ark back into I can't even remember. I think it was maybe Jerusalem. I can't remember. Anyway, I know they were bringing the ark of the covenant back, and David was so excited about what was happening. The Bible says he started dancing,
right.
And the Bible says he danced so hard that he basically came out of his garment, and he was like in his, what we would maybe consider undergarment.
Right.
His underwear and his A shirt. I'm not gonna call it the other thing.
Okay.
The A shirt. You know what I'm talking about?
I have no idea.
Okay, I'll tell you after the lie. Anyway, he came out of his clothes, and the Bible says that his wife was like, "Yo, that is unkingly of you. You're doing too much. How many times have you heard that? You're doing too much."
Mm-hmm.
And so what we do is we shrink back,
right?
And we try, and we want to fit into this box
mm-hmm.
that other people say, this is what a pastor is supposed to look like,
mm-hmm.
or act like. This is what a minister is supposed to act like. This is what a Christian is supposed to act like, or
mm-hmm.
or our wife or a husband, or all these things, or a father or a mother, all these things that we allow people to pigeonhole us into. And what happens is we miss out on the joy, because nothing, let me tell you this, nothing will bring you more joy in life than to be your true self.
Your true, authentic self.
And it is so exhausting. I'm telling you, and I'm talking from experience, it is so exhausting having to show up in the world based on what other people or how other people want you to show up.
Right.
Man, the moon is beautiful.
Yeah, it is.
I'm sorry. I just noticed that. Anyway, so yeah, it's exhausting. And so I think a lot of times the reason why we struggle so much in relationships is because sometimes we take ourselves too
mm-hmm.
serious, and everything has to be just it's like we in coaching we call it the 2 to 10 reaction,
mm-hmm.
where when something happens to you, it should be just a 2, but you take it to a 10,
right?
And just people are angry all the time, mm-hmm. and upset all the time, and it's like, man, I just don't like being around those people,
right?
And so I just want to encourage you, especially in your marriage, man, look, it's enjoy each other, have fun.
Yeah, and I think in marriage that creates a lack of emotional intimacy. If you have gotten to the place with your spouse that you guys have been away from each other all day, you've been at work or what have you. Maybe not now, because most
not
of us
in the pandemic.
are working from home, but there are people who are not, or wherever they are, and they come home and it's just like, hey. There's no,
mm-hmm.
there's no emotional connection. And we talk a lot about, you need to connect with your spouse physically and emotionally every day. You need to be consistent, be intentional about making those connections. But when you can literally pass each other in the house all day long and not say a word,
mm-hmm.
you don't have a laugh together. You don't have, a time of just conversation that's not about the kids, the bills, and all of the responsibilities, but you're just enjoying each other's company.
Yeah.
There's no joy in that.
Yeah.
That's not a joyful marriage.
And I was I didn't read this. I heard it on another podcast. So I
Mm-hmm.
didn't do the research to back this up, but they were saying that the divorce rate has skyrocketed in this pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
And I think one of the reasons for that is because people have been at home together
Mm-hmm.
and they realize maybe how much they just don't connect, with their spouse. And I tell you, and this is not bragging or saying that we're better than anyone, but I'm telling you, it's like our relationship, I think, has thrived in this pandemic because we've had the opportunities. One of the things in our life is, I think a lot of times we wouldn't make time to have fun with the family and hang out with our family.
Mm-hmm.
And so during this pandemic, it's given us that opportunity to, just watch a movie at night or,
play a game,
sit outside at night and just drink hot cocoa. It's given us the time to do that. So it's just been really great. And what that is doing is building emotional intimacy.
Absolutely. And marriage should be the safest place. If you are a married individual, then your marriage should be the safest place for you to be authentically yourself. It should be the place where you have the most laughs, where you have the greatest conversations. I have some amazing and wonderful friends in my life, two in particular, though that's my people, and God is expanding that. There are more people coming into my life, but over the years, building friendships and building relationships, you have these moments and these experiences with people that you talk to and talk about for a really, really long time. And, I know when we're hanging out with friends, we're laughing and probably laughing loud and cutting up. And why can't we do that with our spouse when it's the two of us? I should enjoy you just as much as I do with other people,
And I think you hit the nail on the head when you said, your marriage, your relationship should be that safe place.
Mm-hmm.
And if I can be myself with anybody, I should be able to do that with Tanya.
Absolutely.
But you'd be surprised at how many people don't have that ability to really truly be themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And so we just want to encourage you in that tonight. And if you don't feel comfortable if you have to hide who you truly are.
Mm-hmm.
I used to always say that I don't like being around people who I can't be myself around.
Right.
And so, but one more step I think you need to do is really look at and ask yourself, why is that? Why do I feel like I have to be this other person when I'm around this person, or I have to talk differently when I'm around this person? And there should be something to that. I'll throw some more scripture.
Indicator.
I'll throw some more scripture in here. But it was there's this account in the Bible where Paul and Peter, I can't remember where they were, but they were basically with the Gentile people who had just started coming into Christ, and they was hanging out with these Gentiles, right? And then the Jewish leadership came to this town, and Peter started he stopped eating with the Gentile people and went over and hung out with the the leaders.
Right.
And so Paul called him on. He was like, "Hey, what's up with that?"
It's like switching lunch tables.
Yeah, it's like why you can't. And I'm pretty sure that, and I'm just kind of using my imagination now. It's like when they weren't around, Peter was like, "Hey man, what's up? How's it going?" And when they came, he was like, "How wilt thou do today?"
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's like I just don't like. I never want to have to put on.
Right.
And if first of all, like I said, I need to look at myself and see, why is it that I can't be myself around these people? Fix that so that way I can show up authentic.
Right.
And I'll say one more thing and I'll let you go.
Okay.
And if they can't accept who you are, then I can't change that. But this is who I am.
Right. I was just gonna say, when you said that, if I can't be myself around these people, here it is though. It's not about them, it's about you, right?
Yeah.
And so that is getting past the fear of judgment. It's getting past the fear of someone condemning you or saying, "Oh, you're doing too much," or "That's not how a person in leadership behaves, or a pastor behaves, or a mom behaves, or dad behaves," and not saying that you go wilding out, so to speak. But I'm just saying that
Well, I mean, no.
that you are comfortable with just enjoying yourself, that it is okay. You know, we're sitting here talking and I have these memories kind of floating in my head. I remember we were at a park one day, we were doing some kind of outreach or something, and there was music and all this, and I started dancing. And so I was like, no, don't do that. You know, someone was like, don't do that, you know, kind of like they were embarrassed. I was like, okay. So in my young mind, I'm like, okay, well, I guess I'm not supposed to do that, you know? And then I remember another time we were in church, and, you know, I was worshiping how I worship, and someone else told me, you know, that God's going to put more grace on you, you know, and I forget what the other word that she used, but basically saying that like what I was doing was too much, you know? And so sometimes other people's stuff, because that's your stuff, that's not my stuff, because you don't feel the liberty to do that. That's not on me. Right. But my understanding was different. And the self-confidence, wasn't there to even address it or ignore it and continue on with what I was doing. Right. And so there are instances and moments like that people can say things to you and it steals that joy. And those things stick with you and they prevent you from operating in joy and enjoyment. And then we bring that home to our spouses, to our children, and all of those things. Yeah. You know?
Yeah. Hey, well, Alicia, what's going on?
Hey, I was thinking about you today. We need to catch up.
Yeah. But yeah, and that's so true, you know, and understanding that, you know, like you said, it's not you, it's them.
Right.
You know, they should have to adjust. And, you know, what I'm learning to do is embrace my uniqueness, because that's what the world needs. And I'm learning that more and more, that if I'm silly and I'm goofy and I like to clown, well, man, so the world needs that.
Yes.
You know, the world needs that. And I don't have to, you know, fit into, you know, any mold except for the one that God created for Glenn.
Absolutely.
And actually to do anything other than that is a disservice. It's really you saying to God that, you know, I don't really appreciate the personality that you've given me. Yeah. Yeah. So it's like, you know, embrace your uniqueness, you know. You have to embrace your flaws and those of your. Yeah. And I guess I want to change that word flaws, because a lot of times we think things are flaws, but it's just the unique personality. Right. You know, I you know, like I'm silly. I'm silly. I like to joke around, and I'm learning to just I'm going to embrace that. And so what if I'm 40 years old? You know, I could be 40 and silly
and have fun.
You know,
you know, and you have been that person. It's like you have been the person for me since we met and were dating, that like you helped me to have a little bit more fun, you know, and to step out of the box and not feel like I have to be so rigid in my behavior. And, you know, for me, that has been a fear of, like I said earlier, of going and taking it too far. You know what I mean? But I know that I know how to have fun and enjoy myself without taking it too far, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. All right, Viv, I see you.
Vivian.
How you doing, Viv? And Viv, like Anthony, you know, there's some of our, you know, we looked, I forgot how many years they've been married, but I know it's a lot. So
type it in the chat on Viv. How many years have y'all been married?
Yeah, so let us know. But shout out to the Alfreds holding it down. But yeah, that's so true. And you know, we'll kind of start wrapping this up. But I see the other thing you have here about perfection is rigid and stressful.
Yeah, you mentioned that earlier. Like, it's hard, it's stressful and exhausting to not be free enough to be who you are.
Yeah.
You know,
45
years.
Say, look, we got to do something big for that 50th. So tell Uncle Anthony to get ready to spend some money, because we need to do something big.
Yeah.
All right.
That's as long as I've been alive.
Wow, I know that's longer. Well, that's longer than I've been alive.
And you're not 40, so how old are you?
Oh, that's right. I'm 41.
41.
I'm 41. Okay, my bad. Anywho, what were you saying? So, but shout out to 45
years.
Yes,
that is
we were
amazing.
saying that it's rigid, stressful.
Yes. Not operating as your true self.
Yeah. And here's the other thing is like, I said sometimes you act this way with this person and you act this way with this person. So it's like you don't know. Sometimes you forget. Or was it that which personality
showed up?
If both people show up, it's like I don't know who to do.
Right.
Right. So that's why it's best to be you. Mm-hmm. And look, I'll just say this to as the spouse. I want to accept her for who she is, because she can't be all that she can be for me if she's not her true self, right?
Absolutely.
If she doesn't show up as Tanya, then I'm I'm not getting everything that I need from her.
Absolutely, I agree, and it's the other way around. Like I need Silly Glenn. I know sometimes I may act like Silly Glenn is working my nerves.
That's when I push harder though.
That's when you push harder. And eventually, you always make me laugh. You always, take the tension out of the air, just because you are who you are. And so it is important to accept your spouse for who they are, who God created them to be, and embrace that. I guarantee you, there are some things in your spouse that you need that enhance who you are. And there are some things in you that they need and that enhances who they are. Yeah. And so it's kind of like that example that we usually give about the slide. The transparency. You got the teacher. She has the transparency that has the questions on it, and it's just the questions, and then she lays the transparency sheet with the answers on top, and it fills in the blanks. So that's what we do for one another in marriage. We fill in one another's blanks. And so if I'm too serious, then you come in with less seriousness and you relieve some of the stress and the tension, and what happens is you give me permission to be less serious and to be myself. So
look, at the end of the day, don't take yourself too serious. Have fun, enjoy each other. I mean, if God didn't want you to laugh, he wouldn't have gave you the ability to do so.
Right.
And it's just like we said, there's so much going on in life right now. It's sometimes you just need to take some time just to have fun.
That's it.
Enjoy each other. And so, with that being said, this is Marriage Matters. So we want to just give you some tips and tricks. That's what we're all about, right? Tips and tricks. So, one thing that I want to share with you guys is this this app. It's called the Ultimate Intimacy app. And this app is designed for couples, so I will stress that it's designed for married couples.
Amen.
Let me find it real quick. And it's just really great. And it sometimes you need. Sometimes you've been so serious or so stiff and rigid for so long. Sometimes you may need a little help, especially in your marriage. If you been married. And maybe during this pandemic, you guys, like Tanya said, you just passing each other in the hallway. You're not speaking. You're not having fun. This is something that could help you. So some of the stuff, it has like conversation starters. So just topics to talk about. It has a love language quiz. Everybody needs to know their spouse's love language. Then it has all kind of stuff. There's an intimacy game. There's an intimate chat and intimacy game. It's nice. It's really fun. The intimacy game, if you know what I mean. Intimate chat, so we can kind of maybe, talk sweet to each other or whatever in there. And there's all kind of things in here that help you just to, have fun, spice things up, and just have a good time with each other. The other thing we want to share with you guys is something that's pretty cool. This is the Date Box Club, dateboxclub.com. And what this is, it's like I think they have a subscription, or you can just order just like one at a time. Right. But it's basically you order this box and it comes with all these things like games and I saw on the website one of them was like a painting set, or it's just all these. So you can it's an opportunity to have a really great date at home. Right? And just I think one of them they send you stuff maybe to cook or to make. It's all kind of stuff. Very creative.
Yeah.
You could just do it all from the house. And the other one is it's kind of the same site. It's called unboxlove.com.
Unbox Love. That's what you said?
Yeah.
Okay.
Unbox, not with the ED, just unboxlove.com. And you know, it's just some tools maybe to help you if you need to, you know, get the spark back or what have you. Those are just some resources that we have for you that, you know, can just help
enjoy your love, enjoy your marriage, enjoy the life that you built together. Enjoy it, have fun, enjoy the person that you have built life with and you've been with for the last 45, 35 years. 25, 15, 5 years, however long you've been together.
1 year, whatever.
Or 1 year.
Yeah, we were talking to a couple the other day. They were like, we just got married in May. I was like, wow.
I know, right?
You know,
You're at the beginning. Y'all fresh out.
But it's all awesome. But, you know, it doesn't matter where you are. If you don't do this, if you don't have fun, if you don't enjoy each other on purpose, it's not going to happen.
That's right.
Right.
You have to be intentional about everything in your life. Nothing should happen by happenstance. You should be intentional about those things in your life. What's important in your life.
Okay. Yeah. So we just want to thank everybody for watching.
Yeah, absolutely.
I see my Aunt Vivian, Kimberly, she's on. My mother joined in. Hey, Lena Coleman. And I saw Bergman. Hey, Bergman, he joined. Bergman Cole. Shout out to Bergman.
Our neighbors are on.
Oh yeah, okay, Lauren.
Yeah.
How you doing?
Hey guys, thank y'all for joining.
All right, but yeah, always we thank you guys for watching. As always, please go and you can follow us: Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Subscribe on YouTube. We appreciate all the love and support. Hey, if there's any comments or any topics you want us to talk about, or anything you specifically you want, even help in, you know, send us a message. You know, we would love to help out in any area that we can. You know, this is all about building community, and having fun.
Yes,
doing life together, because life is a lot better when you have people to do it with, right?
Yeah. The other thing is I want to mention is that, you know, if you guys, if whether that's you or another couple that you know, and they just need, you know, some coaching, or they're looking for some, you know, another couple to listen to them and give them some insights or what have you, we are available for that. So just reach out to us and we will, you know, figure something out and get you on the calendar.
Yep.
So.
All right. Well, that's all we got for you guys tonight. This is Glenn and Tanya Coleman reminding you that your marriage matters. We'll see you next week.
Bye.